Eagle Scout projects that they have that you really appreciate. To the left, we've got a big carriage house down the road. That carriage house got some lights on. I guess we're getting ready to have another wedding today. We do weddings along the river at the carriage house. Well, my name's Dick. Treat me just like family unless you got some real serious family problems. Treat me like a good neighbor. We're going to go 500 acres in the woods right now. We've got a good group here. I see some smiling faces already, some beautiful people. And let me tell you what, you are very welcome here to come here every single day of the year. Hang on to your cash register receipts. The reason I tell you that, hang on to the cash register receipt. You can come back and visit us one time within the next week on the same Garden Trail path, so have to pay that fishing fee again.
Yeah, that was a nature bit.
I've had almost every kind of pet imaginable ride the nature train with me. I've had turtles, I've had dogs, I've had cats. I even had one time had a man with his pet rat. He sat by himself with his own road. But one of the most unusual ones I ever had was one was an accident in orangutan. A couple of things I had this orangutan and he wore diapers. And I said, wow, that's really cool. I have never had the opportunity to shake hands with an orangutan and meet one up close, you know. I said, I'd really like to do that. So I said, hey, my name's Snake Man. And over there, his name was Pongo. I said, Pongo, meet Snake Man. And they said, hey, give Snake Man a hug. Well, Pongo came up to me with that long, hairy, furry, reddish-gray fur on his arm. And his little curly hair kind of went straight on top of his head. He rolled back, his eyes were big as silver dollars. He rolled back his upper lip backwards. His bottom lip rolled backwards, showed me the best emptying smile he had, and he attached himself to the side of my face for about, seemed like only maybe a minute and a half, seemed like an hour and a half. But now it's about all the welcome I can have from orangutan. But I won't do that as well, but I want to say welcome to Magnolia and the world-famous nature train. I've had people this morning from Egypt, I've had them from India last Saturday, I've had them from Iceland, I've had them from Australia, a bunch from Australia, a bunch from Germany, a bunch from England, from Brazil, and even here locally, Mount Pleasant, Somerville, over here locally, but from around the world, they've come to the nature train since 1995. I've been giving tours on Saturdays pretty much through the years. Green, waxy, shiny leaves are magnolia trees, and of course we're going to show you other trees as we go along. We've got a cypress tree, a bald cypress tree to my left. And you say, how do you know that's a bald cypress tree? The roots are coming out of the ground and it doesn't have any hair on the tree, so that's probably a bald cypress. Let me get my glasses on in case I get to see something small on my point now. I usually see the big things, but I want to try to get to all.
This is where we saw the turtles.
We got some wood ducks out there on the pond, and it's hard to keep your ducks in a row. We got some wood ducks over to the left. We also got mama alligator that's been sort of back and forth from the island over there to the shoreline here. Back and forth, mama alligator. She's about 8 feet long. And she carries her little babies on her head and in her mouth sometimes. So we'll watch for the alligator coming back and forth. I'm going to watch on either side. And then also in the trees. If you see something I miss, say holler, hey, say Dick, you know, got something here. You can take a look at.
Did you see the
But
buck?
mama alligator's moving around and we'll watch for her. We have put out some alligator boards and ramps for the alligators to lay up on. But the ducks love it, as well as not only the ducks, but the turtles love it too. So be prepared to see some turtles today. If you see, by the way, I'm just looking over here. And by the way, if you see today some dragonflies, don't worry, they don't bite, they don't sting, and they eat as many as 200 mosquitoes a day. So they're our buddies. Don't worry about the dragonflies. Now, alligators like a body temperature around 70 to 79 degrees. Now, sometimes it gets a little hotter than that. They don't like it. Oh, there's an alligator tail ahead of me, looks like. There's an alligator on the trail right ahead of me, a little fella. Now, this little fella up on the trail, your left-hand side, you can see down there, there's about a 3-foot alligator. This alligator is right on the trail. But this alligator, he turned his head, he can actually run up to 25 miles an hour. Up to 25 miles an hour. This little fella right here. And I'm going to get off the train here because I'm going to scare him by getting closer. Y'all can see him because you'll see him. Oh, here you get ready to go in the water. We'll let him go. There he goes. Little big fella. He's in the water. And he'll come up. times when the water actually gets warmer than the pavement, they'll come up here and lay on the pavement. There's a little alligator buddy right there. He's a little fellow, a little preschooler. Don't you worry about if an alligator comes on the trail, a big one, and starts walking towards you. Don't worry, you don't have to outrun the alligator. I know a lot of people are worried about that. You don't have to outrun the alligator. You just have to outrun your friends. Somebody's eyes just rolled around. No, we've never had an alligator attack on plantations, so don't worry about that. We do have a 14-footer out here, though, and everything in between. Now, I'm seeing some duckweed right out here. It's the vegetation. We've had an alligator, look right here. See all that mass of vegetation? There's been an alligator crossed recently, crossed right here to the left. I see an eagle feather. Well, but you can fall. But alligators do cross back and forth, in and out of the woods and out of the pond. Yeah. I'll take care of them. Boy, by the way, in case you didn't know, this weekend is Father's Day weekend. So remember Father, and I hope you say, well, I'm going to take a Father's Day weekend. I'll take a magnolia. Little black crown night here just flew off right over here. We run an island to the left. The island to the left, we've got these great egrets, the American egret, the large white birds. They're nesting. These are mamas. They got nests right there. They got babies in the nest, and they're nesting. That's the great American egret right there. In the early 1900s, their feathers sold for as much as $60 an ounce. $60 an ounce. It wasn't cure for cancer. It was a lady's white plumed hat in the early 1900s. We see kids. We see a big old yellow belly slider turtle. We should see a lot of turtles on the tour today. Yellow belly slider turtle on the ramp, and he's looking around. I love the turtles. They're predecessor to today's motorhome or Winnebago. If we look to the left, through the trees to the next path over, and we will find, going over there, we will find there's a rookery. A lot of the egrets are back in the woods on the trail.
Thank you. Yeah,
This morning started out kind of interesting. I had to go rescue actually a rat snake about 4.5 foot long, got inside the bedding tube, upside the chicken coop, and was eating chicken eggs, so I had to go get move the snake out of the bedding tube. We got some squirrels, by the way. They'll jump around from tree to tree. Actually, years ago, I had a squirrel actually jump right on my nature tree. We almost had a Mississippi squirrel revival on our hands. I had some people moving, people telling me things I didn't even know about. They knew I was a minister, so they would say, "Oh, this is just like the Ray Stevens song, "When the Squirrel Went to Church." Over here on the left, we got Santa Bella Uh-oh, before the war, one cabin for every slave family. They had 10 roofs, 5 places, they had a wooden floor. And thank you, Boy Scouts of America. We have an archaeological dig area. That's the Eagle Scout Project. We also have a garden with a fence around it, Eagle Scout Project. Thank you, Boy Scouts of America. Well, up ahead, we do have a slavery freedom log cabin tour. And that's a great tour. Jen gives a great tour right over here. But I don't want to get my microphone over her speaking, so we'll just go on by.
Alright, now turn around.
Straight ahead. Here's a big old live oak tree right here. Look what happens when you use a little bit of Miracle-Gro and a little bit of love. Oh, wait a minute. Part of the dirty dozen. Here's a couple of them. These are guinea pens, and the guinea fowl have been, look to the right, they've been in the mama's makeout. It's terrible. I don't want to tell them, but when you put lipstick on a pig, you still got a pig. They're really trying to look their very best today, so they're all wrapped up. And especially they stand right next to the peacock. It's so sad. It is so sad. You need to be all over again. How about this big old oak tree to my left? This tree is magnificent. It's over 300 years old. The new green leaves push out the old green leaves. It's always got green leaves in the tree. And by the way, these limbs literally weigh tons. So have you ever went to the grocery store and held up a gallon of milk? You ever done that? Hold up a gallon of milk at 8 1/3 pounds. They get pretty heavy from checking the date. Imagine holding a limb 85, 90 feet to the side. It weighs 8 or 9 tons. Weighs 8 or 9 tons, held parallel to the ground for 300 years. That's what the tree's been doing. It's covering the lips all the way back. Oh, mama. That's how y'all doing today. This looks like just some good serious cooking going on here. Oh, that's the Leach family. The Leach family right there, I saw some of them. Johnny Leach is about 92 or 93 years of age. He's still working here. He is still working here, the master gardener. He loves it that much. Over to my left, we got a yellow-bellied slider turtle. Check out the little Tommy turtle over there on the bank. He's checking out the kids. A lot of times they lay right out here on the grass. They'll get up here and they'll look at the women. I tell you, they're girl watchers. And these turtles will get up here in the grass and they'll look up at the women. Someday I'm thinking they're going to have flashcards, 9s and 10s and oh boy and all that. I'm just waiting for that. So we'll watch for them. They told me, Tommy says, don't forget to tell them about the Spanish moss in the tree. That great fuzzy stuff's called Spanish moss. It's not Spanish and it's not moss. But then again, it is Spanish moss. Now, the early American Indian didn't grow beard or facial hair. They saw the Spanish explorers' beards, Los Conquistadors. Here's a little turtle for the kids. Little turtle. Look at that belly. I love them. They're princesses. They motor homes and Winnebagos. They carry the house on the back. Yellow belly slider turtles. That's the actual name of them. By the way, it's got long, long, skinny claws. It's not the female. That's the male. Females have short, stubby claws. They have to dig holes in the ground to deposit the clutch of eggs. In fact, you never find a turtle at the beauty shop. I can check it. I have never seen it. They don't worry about their claws and their nails very much. Well, Spanish moss, they used to take it out of the trees. The Spaniards had the beards. The explorers saw it. The Indians saw the explorers' beards, and they called it Spanish moss after the explorers' beards. Now, the American Indians wasn't carrying too much blue blades. They didn't have any beards. Looked strange, called Spanish moss, same stuff. They used to boil it and bleach it and stuff your mattresses with it. If you didn't boil it or bleach it, you could take a bug when you take to bed with your mom. Used to say, good night, and sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Now, I always slow down here because you just never know what might come across the road right in here. I've seen 12, 13-foot alligators cross the road, lay right up here. I've seen bullfrogs hop across the road. I've seen turtles stacked up like pancakes on a Minnesota breakfast table. This is where they filmed that blockbuster movie years ago. Moms and dads, I know you saw it. You probably got 2 or 3 copies at your house and show it every time the family comes over. I'm talking about that blockbuster movie called Swamp Thing. How many saw Swamp Thing? How many saw it more than one time? All right, there's a die-hard moviegoer right up there in the front right. Thank you, sir. Starred Adrienne Barbeau. Didn't she do a great job in that movie? Yeah, he's smiling at him. Now, that probably got a great inspiration when they had that song in the 60s. Y'all remember that song?
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Swamp Thing, I think I love it. I want to know move me, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing. I think I love it. I want to know. Y'all remember that song, of course. These are Tupelo gum trees down in the swamp at the Tupelo tree. This goes back a few years. I'm going to date myself, but I don't mind. I remember a fellow born in Tupelo, Mississippi by the name of Elvis Presley. Then I remember a lady that later would make some pictures with Walt Disney films with Dean Jones. She was Miss Mississippi. Miss Mississippi, Miss USA, Marianne Mobley. Then they had some of this honey that they put on the biscuits down there in Mississippi. It said sweet as Tupelo honey. I mean, Elvis, Marianne Mobley, and the Tupelo biscuits. What else do you want from the South? Let this car go by. Right behind us is the Audubon Swamp, named after John J. Audubon, the famous naturalist. He planned a 2-week visit to the plantation. He came back every day for 2 years, the famous naturalist. John J. Audubon. And a friend by the name of Reverend John Bachman helped him with his writings. Years ago, I used to love to ride horses along the river. I'd get on the horse and go through the woods, and I didn't know what kind of stuff I was going to see. So what I'm telling you now is pretend, paint in your mind a mental picture. You're on a horse. You say, I'm scared of horses. It doesn't matter, just it's a pretend horse. And pretend his name is Trigger. And you get on Trigger, and you got your pretend horse right